Welcome to AI Business TV, coming to you from the AI Summit, San Francisco. We're very pleased to be joined today by Dr. Michael Feindt, and Chief Scientific Advisor at JDA and part of Blue Yonder. Welcome, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
First of all, I just want to congratulate you on your award. So last night we had the Iconics Awards and you took away the top prize for Best AI Innovation for the Enterprise. So
yes.
Congratulations, great.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff.
Right.
So how are you enjoying your AI Summit so far?
Absolutely, very, very interesting, very good. AI, of course, is one of the big topics today, and one sees it everywhere, and this is also seen here, and there's really many people interested in AI, and it's a really very good atmosphere.
Yeah, there's a great buzz here already on day one. Right. And I know you're presenting tomorrow.
Yes.
You're delivering a keynote on sustainability and profitability in AI for the supply chain. So what can people expect from this session?
Yeah, the interesting thing is that we have already, especially for retail and for the complete supply chain, used AI in order to optimize profitability for enterprises. But now more and more, especially in Europe, but also here worldwide now, also sustainability is a very important topic, and the enterprises also want simultaneously be sustainable. And for example, for short-lived food, for example, short shelf life food like sushi or ground beef, it's very important that the complete supply chain is really optimal. And you are not allowed to have too much on the shelf because you have to throw it away. Right? And food waste is a really big problem nowadays. And actually it's one of the aims of the sustainability goals of the United Nations to halve food waste in the next 5 years. And Blue Yonder was already named by Deloitte as one of the companies who does it. And I think sustainability is exactly like profitability, which is necessary for enterprises, a really important goal. And what we see now is how can we design algorithms, AI algorithms, that are both profitable and sustainable. So really have in their function that is optimized and that is learned by the artificial intelligence also these goals to minimize food waste. But at the same time, still to be profitable, and also the service level should not be too low, so the customer should also not be dissatisfied by empty shelves all the time. Right? And for that, of course, it's obvious that you need good predictions, as good as possible, because the cost and the bad things always come if the reality does not perform as expected. If the demand is much higher or much lower. And if it's much lower, you then have waste, and you want to avoid. And the other very important thing is that you really have to use AI and automation, because you can reach the two goals simultaneously only if you optimize it for every single item in every single store every day. Right? And for ground beef, it's very different from red wine. Right? If the red wine you don't sell today, you sell it tomorrow or next year, and it's still good. Right? But for ground beef, it's a big difference. And so everything has to be done individual on the individual cost or utility function, and that is what modern AI can do.
Wonderful. So let's talk about the use cases then, because AI is impacting and enabling every industry imaginable, and retail's very much going to come under the spotlight for you tomorrow in your keynote. So what are some kind of key examples of use cases for AI for retail at the moment?
Right. So what we are doing is always decision support or decision automation. Let's see, many decisions that have to be done in a retail business every day. So that is, for a typical supermarket chain, about 15 to 20 million replenishment decisions per day, simply because they have so many different items in so many locations. Right? And for all of them, every day has to be decided, do we have to reorder and how many? So 20 million, this already tells you it's hard to do optimal by humans, because then they do, of course, the same as all the time and do not think about all the influences. And we, for example, use also actual weather forecast and so on in our prediction. So that's the first part. And then the decision part to really make the decision automatically so that it can simply be done automatically. Another thing is, for example, price setting the right price for for every item at the right time. It's also a very important thing, especially again for seasonal items that lose their value somehow. So that is true for train tickets that after the train started it's useless, or flight tickets or hotel tickets, reservations, but it's also true for seasonal fashion and also for fresh food again, right? So all of these have an end date and the value afterwards is zero. And then to find the right pricing policy, to try to have zero rests when the value is zero, and to optimize the expected overall raw profit, or also other measures. There's, of course, the strategy of the retailer that he can put in, but it's high-level goals that are put in, and then the decisions for the complete pricing strategy, and that for every single item, if they want, in every single store and online, that is done completely automatically. And by these methods, so they're very, very powerful, and by that you can usually get 10, 15, 20% better profitability.
So it really goes hand in hand then. So
yes.
let's drill down a little bit more on the supply chain kind of case studies and use cases that you come into contact with. What are the key ones that you're seeing? Right.
So the first thing, it's these methods always work very good if there's lots of data and we have lots of decisions to be done. That's why retail is a start, or even better, it works really for the single customer. So when we have really millions of data sets. When we go up the supply chain, usually the numbers go larger and we have fewer decisions to be done, right? Because it's a concentration up to the production, manufacturing at the very beginning. But finally, all these decisions, everything is manufactured only because it wants to be sold at some stage. So finally, it's really what the customers want to have, to predict their demand as good as possible is always the basis. And then, of course, we have to push this information up one step, for example, to the distribution center, and also manage the distribution center optimally. So, of course, it must be able to deliver to all the stores that are connected to it. Right? But it should also get the information of the stores, or as much information as possible. For example, we can also predict the orders that we will send tomorrow, right? And that will help the distribution center quite a bit. And then it goes up the supply chain, the same, for the complete supply chain until really production. And then, of course, you can also see, okay, what raw material do we need, what resources do we need, what manpower do we need. Also the planning of all that finally should be really steered by the customer demand. So our vision is that we have all of this in one big platform where all this data resides, and we have first thing complete visibility of everything, and second predictability, and third thing is the prescriptive data. That means really the automatic decision making, which is really a complicated thing. And of course, because these are so many decisions, then the last thing is automation. And so our vision is really the autonomous supply chain, where then even error handling, exception handling and so on is also done by artificial intelligence. And we predict already where can it go wrong, where do we have to act already before something goes wrong, to make the whole system more stable. So that is a long-term vision we are working on.
Fantastic. So let's look long-term then and kind of future trends. So what do you see as being the big things to shake up the industry, retail specifically, in the next 1 to 2 years? And what are we going to be seeing within AI?
First, it's still some work to bring this, what I told you about, into real life for many customers. Right? It is for many retailers, this is really a complete change of the way they are working. So the different departments, purchasing and sales departments, should work closer together. And so it's not the siloed optimization anymore. It's really a horizontal optimization, which also means openness of data and so on, and open data flow along the supply chain. And of course also quite a bit of change in the organization of retailers and the work of retailers. those who already do it are very, very successful with it, but it really needs a lot of change in the mindset. And so to make this now really mainstream for the majority of you, that's still quite a lot of work and education and trust building and so on. So the first movers do it already, but the vast majority not yet. Then I think that the next really big thing in AI, really on the research side, is everything which has to do with causality. So it's not enough that we learn only things from historic data, the correlations and make predictions, but if we want, and that's of course our aim, if we want to design a better action policy, then we also have to unfold or to understand all the action policies that was done in the history, right? And we have to really to understand what is the causal effect of this decision and that decision and that decision. And because that we have to model in order to automatically come to a better action policy. And that's actually clearly our goal, to reach that automatic better solutions. So starting from something which more or less copies what companies do right now, and then an algorithm which automatically improves on that. So that's the vision, and for that one really needs to understand the concept and what it really means of causality. And in research it is that causality is one branch of mathematics and AI, machine learning, another, and it only starts to make the connection. These are still two research areas that are not one. And my prediction is that this will be the next big thing, bringing these two together, because then this will enable us to really do better decisions automatically, which for sure are superhuman in their power. So humans could not do it.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Exciting times. Thank you, Dr. Michael Feindt. Thank you for joining us here.
Very welcome.
Enjoy the rest of your AI Summit.
Thank you.